Okay, good afternoon to everyone. Today we will, in previous classes, I have shown the implementation of some programs, and today I will show how to implement the program of a string buffer class. Previous day I have shown that how to implement the program of a string class, and today we will show about how we can implement the program of a string buffer class. In case of, if you remember, in case of string buffer class, I have mentioned four total five methods that is important in there. That is append method, insert method, then replace method, then delete method, then reverse method. Now, today I will show how these methods we can implement in our program. Okay, today we will show the implementation of these methods. So how we will implement this method? So first, I will show you the implementation of a append method. Now, in this program, you can see I have taken a string buffer class named class string buffer probe. This class name should be anything. I have mentioned a class name. That class name is string buffer program. And then inside the main, I have created a string. This is creating a string using, I have created a string using string literal using. We know that two types of string, we can create a string object in Java using two methods. One is string literal and another is using new keyword. So here first I have included or mentioned a string literal, that is string s1 equal to ec. So that means s1 has the value ec. And then using new keyword, I created another, that is string buffer s2. That is string buffer class object equal to new string buffer. And as a parameter, I am sending classes. That means string buffer class object contains classes. That s2, the string buffer class object, that is s2 have the value classes. This means that, so what will be the after printing the system.out.println, then if we can print the s2, it will be show classes. This is the simple, that this object string buffer class object contains the value classes. So if we print this, the value will be shown as classes. Let's see this. If we run this using command prompt, that if we run this program, see what will happen. Then Java C, the name of the Java class, its compilation is okay. So if we run this, see the value is shown as classes, because string buffer object now contains, the string buffer object s2 contains the value classes. Now one by one I will show the method or the operations which are performed in the string buffer class, important methods. So first we will see append method. Now what is the functions of this append method? Through append method we pass some parameters or a string, and this will be concatenated with the other string which I have mentioned. Means if in parameter I am sending some value, it will be, if string buffer class object, we use string buffer class object dot append method, string buffer class object dot append method, and inside this append method I mentioned such as string named engineering, any parameter or any string I have mentioned here, append inside the append method engineering, a value named engineering. So if we run this, then the total value will be shown as classes engineering. See, append method is used for the concatenation. See now, if we again compile this program and after that run it, you can see that it is shown as classes engineering. Means in the we can call this method in which object we are calling this method. Then in that object the value which is present, and the in append method the parameter which I am sending, it will be appended to the value of that object. So S2 contains classes, this value S2 value S2 object contains classes value, and append method we are passing some string, and this string is concatenated with the value that present in the S2 object. So that's why this value is shown as classes engineering. Okay, this is the append method. This is the working of append method. Okay, clear? This is the working of append method. Now we will see the next method, that is insert method. What is the insert method? What insert method will do? So for insert method, we have to write insert, then the position in which the value will be inserted. I define that the value will be inserted in the one position. Now, what I will see during the running time, I will see that the value in S2, the value is stored as stored is classes. So in this classes, this C is on 0 position, L is on 1 position, A is on 2 position, S is on 3 position, this S is on 4 position, this E is on 5 position, and this S is on 6 position. So this total positions are there. The value, this value has this position. So the value will be inserted on the 1 position. That means this string will be inserted in the L position. The L, where the L is mentioned, in this position the value will be inserted, and this L will be shifted to the right side 1 position. Okay, so this value will be shifted 1 position, and in this position this value will be inserted. So it will look like C engineering lasses. This will look like this. Now if we run this program, you can see it. If we run this program, you see it will show like this. If we run this program, Java C, then string dot Java, then now you see what I am telling, that in 1 position, this is the 1 position, L position is the 1th position. So this string is entered into this position, and this L is shifted 1 position right. That's why you can see that it will show as C engineering lasses. The value, the position I will mention, in that position the value will be inserted, and the value, that the previous value which is presented on that position, will be shifted in the right 1 position. Okay, clear? It is clear? Please respond.
Clear.
So now this is the second method, second important method, that is insert method. Now, if we use the third method, that is replace. The third method is replace. In this replace method, we can replace the value. This replace method, we can replace the value. Now, in this replace method, we have to types of three part of parameter. In replace method, we will take now you can see in this position replace method. Replace method is basically in this replace method we have three parts. These three parts, what are the three parts? The starting index, the end index, and the string which I should replace, with the previous values. The string should be mentioned. So here there is a replace method, and the first part here I am mentioning one. So this one is the starting index, and then I have to mention the end index. Let I mention 3 as the end index, and the string which I want to replace the values with the previous one. So now if we use this, then what is one? L is in the one position, and what is in the, and the S is the on the three position. So LAS, this portion LAS will be replaced with this string. So the previous values, will be replaced with this string. So LAS, this total value will be replaced because L is on the one position, A is on the two position, and S is on the three position. So I am mentioning starting index as 1 and ending index as a 3. So from 1 to 3, the previous values of 1 to 3 will be replaced with this string. So the value will now shown as C engineering ACS. This is the difference between the insert method and replace method. In insert method, if we enter some value in that particular position, then the previous value didn't get lost. It is shifted to the right. But in replace method, if we mention from starting index to ending index, from starting index to ending index value, the total value will be replaced with this string. The replaced with the string which I am want to mention in that. So that's why if like that, 1 minute. Now you can see from LAS, this total have been replaced. So in that position, C engineering to this LAS, this value is replaced and this string is entered here. So this is done using the replace method in string buffer class. Using string buffer class, this we can done using the replace method. And next, there is a delete method. There is a method that is delete. In delete method, we have to mention the start index and end index. In delete method, we have to mention delete, then as a parameter we have to send the start index and end index. If we run this, you can see that from 1 to 3 position means LAS, this value will be deleted. Only CSS, this value will be shown because this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this portion value will be deleted. Now if we run this, you can see let's say that this value is deleted. From 1 to 3 positions value, these two values are deleted. So that's why it is showing CSS. So through delete method, through delete method in string buffer class, we should delete the values present previously present. And one thing you should remember, that in delete method, you have to pass two parameters. One is the starting index and another one is end index. So from starting index to end index, the value have been deleted. Clear? And at last, the last method which is present, that is reverse. Reverse method. Reverse method basically reverses the string. So this string that is present in the S2 will be reversed. If we use this method, the value that is present on the S2 will get reversed. See, the value is reversed. That classes, the value stored classes are reversed. That CLASSES means the value is reversed. So these are the 5 types. This is the 5 important methods in the string buffer class which we can perform this. This is the 5 operations present in the string buffer class, which I have discussed in the class, and today I showed it through the implementation. Okay, clear? So this is all about the string buffer class. Now, today I will start another topic. So this is all about the implementation type. And today we will start another topic, that is Java AWT programming. Previously, we have seen the Java applet programming. Now today we will see Java AWT programming. Now, what AWT stands for? AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. And it is an API, means Application Programmable Interface. API means Application Programmable Interface to develop graphical user interface or window-based application. So this is basically used. This is basically used for graphical representation, for any graphical programming or graphical user interface. This Java AWT programming is used, and it is also a window-based application. Means this programming Java AWT, it is basically an application programmable interface which is used for developing graphical user interface and window-based application. Now, AWT components are platform dependent. Means AWT components are platform dependent. Now you can say that we know that Java is of platform independent, which in previously I have also told that Java is platform independent. Then why AWT components are platform dependent? AWT components look and feel in the ways. So that's why it is of its look and feel is like ways. That's why it is platform dependent. And AWT, Abstract Window Toolkit, for using this, we have to use java.awt package. Already in applet programming, you have seen that when we have used graphics G, this class, when we are using the graphics class object, that time we are also including the import java.awt package. That's why for any AWT programming, we have to import the package java.awt package in our programming. And hierarchy, what is the hierarchy of this Java AWT programming? Now this hierarchy stands for hierarchy of a Java AWT stands like this, that there is an object class. For in Java, object class is the super class, and this object class are derived, this component class are directly derived from the object class. So in Java, there is a class named object class, and this object class directly, this component class directly derived from this object class. And inside this component class, there is present many classes, there is presented many classes, that is button class, level class, and like checkbox, choice, etc. classes are present in this component class. Now, what is the button, level? Now, for graphically programming, you know that for button, level, these are used. These components are used for any graphical programming. For button, level, these are used. Now, this button, level, checkbox, choice list, this all the classes are present, and these classes are present on the component class. And this classes button, level, container, and this container class is derived this window class, this window class, and panel class. These are derived from this container class. And this window means this is the super class of the component class is object, and component class is a super class of button class, level class, container class. And this window and panel, there are two types, window and panel. This window and panel classes has a super class as a container. And in this window, there is frame and dialog. These are also classes. This classes has a super class as the window class. And the applet class, this applet class has a super class panel. So this is the hierarchy of an AWT programming. Now, what is container? You have seen that there is a container mentioned. Now, what is the container? It is the component in AWT that can contains other components. Means container is a component in AWT. The container that is present, it is a component in AWT that can contains other components, like button, text field, levels, etc. So container is a component in AWT that contains the other components like button, text field, level, etc. And the classes that extend the container class are also known as container. Now you can say which classes are extending this, classes are extending this container class, this window, this panel, these classes, then frame, dialog, applet, both all these classes are extending this container class, because this is a super class of all these classes, the super class of all these classes. So it will extend the classes which extend from the container classes are also known as container, such as frame, dialog, panel, all these classes, frame, dialog, panel, window, applet, all these classes extends from this container classes. So container class is this container class is the super class of window, panel, frame, dialog, applet, everything. So if any window based program needs to be created, then we can done it through frame, dialog, or applet. And inside frame, now for any window based programming, we have to do it using a frame, dialog, or applet. And inside frame, we have to add the all components, button, level, text field, etc. These are for the container classes. Now you can say how it looks like this is a window. You are seeing this is a window, and in this window there is a button present, and this button have a level. There is a window. This window size is 400, height 400, width 400, and we height 400, width 400. And this window has a button present. In this window there is a button present, and this button have a level. This button has a level. Click here. So this type of programming, the frame, dialog, applet, for window based programming, this container is used. Okay, so for to AWT programming, we can use this type of designing for using container classes and by extending frame. And the total window, this total window is known as frame. And inside this frame, we have to add the button. We have to add the button, we can add the dialogue, etc. Or the text field, we can add inside this. So we can design our window like that using this type of Java AWT programming. So Java AWT programming is used for graphical programming. Okay. So now what is window? Now what is window? It is a container. Window is a container. It is also a container and it does not have a border and number. The window class is also known as a container and it doesn't have border and number. Means border and menu bar. Sorry, border and menu bar. Border and menu bar is a class. This is also a class like button class, level class. This is also a class. Border class and menu bar class. But these are not present on the window. So if we want to use the border and menu bar, then we should use frame, dialog, or another window. So if we want to use it, if we want to use these classes, border classes or menu bar, it is required. Sometimes it may require that we have to design our window. We have to design our window using border or menu bar, but we didn't able to do it using this. So for doing this, you have to use frame, dialog, or any other window. And what is next? That is panel class. Panel class is also known as component. Panel class is also known as component and doesn't contain title bar and menu bar. So in this case, in panel, it is also a component that doesn't contain title bar and menu bar class. But buttons, then our buttons, then text field, all classes are present in the panel. And at last, there is a frame. The frame contains title bar, menu bar, button, etc. So all of these are present in the frame class. That's the reason in Java programming, we uses mainly the frame. We mainly extending the frame class. We used extending the frame because in frame class, all the things are present. All the components are present. Title bar, menu bar, button, all the things are present in the frame class. That's why doing an AWT program, we always use extending the frame class. Now, some important methods. We will see some important methods that are present in the component class. There are 4 methods that are very much important in the components class, and it should be present in the component class. That first is public void add. This public void add method takes a parameter of the components class object. That's why there is written component C, because this add method, this public void add method means this add method takes a parameter as a components class object. That's why it is used component C. Then other method and this method. Now, what is the purpose of this method? This method inserts a component in a container. Means for if we want to add some button, if we want to add some text field in our frame, in our total frame means the total window, in our total window frame. If we want to add some components, we have to use that. We have to first, what we'll have to done, we have to create that component whichever we want to insert in our frame object. So whatever components we want to use, we have to first create the object of that, and after creating the object, you should pass that object in the add method. Then the component which we are creating will be added to the frame. Okay, so this method, add method, is used for inserting the components in the container. Okay, then public void set size. Now, what is the set size method? This set size method take two parameters. One is width and another one is height. These two parameters, this set size method takes these two parameters. Now the working of the set size method is to set the size of the frame. Means set size method, the height and the width of a frame is determined or set through this method. So the set size method is used to set the size of a frame. And void set layout. Now set layout method. What is the purpose of the set layout method? This set layout method looks like this: public void set layout, and it takes parameter as a layout manager class object. It takes the parameter of a layout manager class object. That's why it is mentioned layout manager M. This means layout manager class object. Layout manager class object, here I have used M, that the layout manager class object will go to the as a parameter on this layout method, So this method is used to define the layout of the component. Means what will be the layout, what will be the design, what will be the layout of the component. This, through this method we can define that. And set visible method. Set visible method, this method has a general structure like this: public void set visible, and it takes the parameter as a Boolean status. Now what is the Boolean status? Boolean status means its value should be true or false. So our component which we are added in the container, means in our word we can say that the component we want to add the in our frame, it will be visible or not. Means it is visible or not. If we set true, then the component we are adding in the frame will be visible. If we add false as a parameter, if we give false as a parameter, then it will be not added to the frame, and we didn't able to visible that component. So the main thing is it changes the visibility of the component as per the requirement. So these are the four methods used in the component class, and this, for doing any simple graphical program, you have to use this method. This four method should be used for designing purpose. Now if we see a simple example, it will be more clear to you. Through this simple example, we are creating a frame, and inside this frame a button is added. Inside a frame we are creating, that is window based frame, and inside this frame a button is added through this program. This program only implies that. So now you can see, for doing that, you have to first, what you have to first do, you will have to first import the java.awt package. First you have to do java.awt package importing, because we have to use the classes that are present in the java.awt package. Otherwise we cannot do this awt programming. That's why we have to first use import java.awt.star. Star means all the classes present in the awt package. Now I use class awt test. This is our user defined class. You can name anything, and it is extending frame class. I have already said that mainly in Java AWT programming we uses frame, because in frame all the components are present there. So that's why we are extending the frame class. Extends frame. Now this is the here we are creating object of the button class. This is the constructor AWT test. What is this? The name of this method is also name of the class. So that means it is the constructor. This is the constructor of used. And why constructor is used? Constructor is basically used for constructing the object. So that's why you use AWT test, means constructor is used. And inside this constructor you can see we want to add, mainly our motto is we want to add any button to the our window based frame. So here what we should have to do, we should have to create the object of button class. We have to create the object of button class. That's why you can see I have created button class object. Button B equal to new button, means button class object is created, and we are passing the as a parameter the level is passed. Here the level is click here, means our button name, the button name which will be shown, it will be shown as a click here. So click here, the parameter, as a parameter we are sending click here. It means the level of the button as a parameter. And then we use button class object. Then we use button class object and call set bound methods. Now this set bound methods is the function for setting position of the button. Means set bound method is basically used for button position. For fixing the position of the button, this set bound method is used. This set bound method, so with object of the button class, we call the set bound method. And inside this set bound method, you can see 4 parameters. These 4 parameters are basically, this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So that means 30 is x1, 100 is y1, 80 is x2, 30 is y2. So these are the our button position, fixing the position of the button. Okay. Next, we use set size. I have already mentioned that we have to use all this, the important methods which I have shown. This all the methods should be present in the our AWT programming. That's why you see that first we are using set size method. Now what the set size method will do? Set size method will take 2 parameters, x and y, and it will, what the set size method do? It will set the size of the frame. The frame in which the button will be added. It's that frame